Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. Coming to you, as I said, live from Columbus, Ohio. And it is another Manic Monday. And I wish it was... Whoops, come on. There we go. I wish it was Sunday, because that's my fun day. What up, HB? What up, Sid? Alrighty. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Steve Money. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me. If you got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can do that at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. The link is in the ticker below and also in the video description. Marshall, Trey, Mama called him Trey. Daddy call him Trey. I call him Trey. Merry Christmas, Marshall. Marshall. Alright, so you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, and just on the main page there, you just scroll down a little bit for my financial playlist here, the Ramsey Show After Show, and the Answering Your Financial Questions. Two different playlists for you with, 137 shows in one of them, and today is number 433 in the Ramsey Show After Show. Also, the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Listen to those if you are so inclined. Maybe even if you're not inclined to, do it anyway. Do it. Market report, and let's see, as you can see by the pink and red arrows there, that means, and the arrows pointing down, that means a down day in the market. Let's see, Dow's 240 points lower as investors await this week's key inflation data. Okay, always waiting for some kind of report, before you, I guess, hold even, because when it goes down, that means people are selling, and the selling is outweighing the buying. But of course, the Ramsey advice is that you buy on schedule. You're not trying to day trade and freaking time the market or anything dumb like that. Russell Small Cap Index, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all down 0.6 something percent. And so the Dow Jones fared the best of today, being only down 54%, but they were down the past 2 days, I think, when the rest of the market was up. Let's see what the rest of the planet looks like here. We got mostly up in Europe, mostly down in Asia. As far as the US dollar, it is up over the euro, up over the Japanese yen. British pound, love, though, is over the US dollar. US dollar up against the Canadian dollar, but the Australian dollar mate is up against the US dollar. So the futures are doing, looks like futures are going down. So let's see how that shakes out mañana. Let's see, which is Spanish for tomorrow. Earnings calendar, 11th Adobe, 12th Broadcom, and 12 also the 12th Costco Wholesale. I reminded people in the chat today about the giving show. I think that's on Wednesday the 18th. I think that's the last new show of 2024 for the Ramsey Show, and so the giving show is always good. So highly recommend. Oh, hey, look. How does that happen? Wait a second. So we got all these in the green. Tesla up 0.15%, Microsoft up 0.55%, Alphabet 0.49%, and Apple up 1.61%. They have been down the past few days, I believe, or recently. They've been down a few days recently. And so getting some of that back, it looks like. And so this is when your managed funds come into play, because then you don't have an equal share of each stock. So your management group, and this is what you pay that higher expense ratio for, is that they say, well, I feel like for me, we should have, X number of higher percent. We should buy more Apple, basically, is what I was trying to get to there, but taking a long way to get to it. And so depending on, with all these, so you may have a large cap that's maybe not positive on your large cap, but it might also just be a much less negative than this. Alrighty. I spit it out finally. Let's see what is in the news. Florida condo cliff is coming as owners deal with fallout from 2021 Surfside collapse. Yeah. Insurance is up in Florida. And some people won't even, some companies won't even give you insurance in Florida for homeowners insurance. And so that's just the way it goes. They don't trust it with the weather over there, I guess. Let's see. Treasury Department may fine small businesses $10,000 or more if they don't file this new report. All right, I'm intrigued. Let's see what it is. The Corporate Transparency Act of 2021 requires many businesses to report beneficial ownership information by January 1st, 2025 in an effort to curb crime through shell companies. Oh, okay. All right. So that's good. They want to know who owns what company, and that shouldn't be a problem. Elon Musk agrees with Ron Paul's call to eliminate foreign aid. All right. Russia's military found surprising simple way to buy U.S. chips. All right. Some kind of black market thing. Let's see. Internal Russian documents reviewed by Bloomberg reveals how Putin's forces have been able to keep purchasing American semiconductors. Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking when it said chips. I don't know what I was thinking about, like poker chips or something like that. Semiconductors. How do you get that? Let's see. I don't want to register that, or I'm not going to subscribe. So I guess we don't get to know what is up with that, how they found it. But, getting it on eBay would be my guess. Palantir stock reverses down amid military contract expansion. Okay. That is a pharmaceutical company. China probing NVIDIA in a major escalation of its chip war with the U.S. What do you mean they're probing it? As far as their dealings in China? Okay, if it's happening in their country, probe away. But otherwise, none your business. Exclusive. McKinsey promotes its smallest group of partners in years. I don't know what McKinsey is. Trump Securities Exchange Commission pick wants to ditch landmark climate disclosure rule. What do you have to disclose? The truth about climate change? What do you have to disclose there? So I don't know what that is either. Let's see. NVIDIA down. Lucid up. Palantir down as we saw. Soundhound AI Incorporated. Never heard of it. Neo up 12.36%. And Plug, I don't know what that is. Plug Power is up 12.18%. All right, let's do some questions. We got Facebook questions today. North Carolina, not as bad as Florida. And of course, you know, I can't believe I already talked about it and didn't do this, but since especially since Florida has come up again and their bad weather, I'm gonna do it. I hear the rainstorms ain't nothing to mess with, but I can't feel a drip on the strip. What was he find such a big yeah, on that last call, yeah, I missed that because I was getting ready for the stream. Trey says he's mad that he didn't understand the required cash outs of 401ks. Okay, and also he didn't get any notifications from them on anything. That's what he said anyway. So, you know, they may have sent emails, they may have sent letters and such, but he's saying he didn't get it. McKinsey is a huge consulting firm, according to Sid. Thanks, Sid. AJ's CEO did some work at McKinsey a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Let's see. Marshall says land washing away, landslides, rivers rising, dams overflowing, bridges washed away, houses, and so many vehicles damaged. Yeah. Sid says McKinsey definitely does some questionable work with some super uneth recommendations. Alrighty. So I'll put you down for not a fan. Alrighty, once again, these are from the Ramsey Baby Steps Community Facebook group, and that is the only forum like that that is run by Ramsey Solutions that I'm aware of. And let's go here. Should I sell my 2-year-old home or rent it out? Let's keep going and get more information before I just blanket answer. Like I'm prone to do. I'm moving in with my mom because she's getting older and needs help with appointments and such. Living with her would be rent-free. The mortgage is $2,120, and tenants would pay $2,000. Is it worth it? No. So that's $120 profit a month. And if you have the, you know, let's see, well, what could you do? I normally use HVAC. What else can we say? A roof I do use most often, I think, mostly. Anything, it doesn't even have to be anything that big to go out to cost you that $120 per month and take your you know, you're getting the equity, sure, so you got to consider that, but you're not getting any cash profit by that if you have that kind of problem. So that's not enough margin for me. And everybody that is moving or moving in with their mom, everybody that's doing that should not be a landlord. I owe $68,000 in student loans as well. Yeah, you sell it then and pay off your freaking student loans. So after almost 5 years, we have a fully funded emergency fund. Well, how did it take 5 years? Paid off over 90, maybe for everything, maybe steps 1, 2, and 3, maybe. Paid off over $95,000 in debt. During baby step 3, we had a lot of setbacks. All right, we had 12 to 18K needed for baby step 3. Then Murphy Medical, 2 trees, a new roof. Well, the trees you don't have to do. Trees are not an emergency ever. I mean, I guess if they land on you or if they land on your car or something like that. But trees by themselves are not an emergency. New roof, just as I was saying. Vehicle issues, but we kept regrouping to stay on track. Honestly, with all the Murphy setbacks, it felt like we had to do baby step 3 twice. Well, you did if you used most of the emergency fund during that time. So glad we moved out of baby step 3 and onto 4, 5, and 6. Yep, you got there. Excuse me. Very yawning. And yes, did he stay up too late again last night and get up way too early this morning? Yes, he did. Key for us was don't give up, never give up, never surrender. That's from a movie called Galaxy Quest, which is like kind of like a parody of Star Trek. Kind of. I got so tired of 75-hour weeks that I did take a couple weeks to just do 50 hours and rebalance. You've got this. You can do it. All right. Aslan would sell the house to avoid the hassle of being a landlord and then just pay off your debts. Yeah. Agreed. Tenants wouldn't even cover the mortgage, says Sid. On a good month, yeah, why do you think it's worth it? Yeah. Yeah, you gotta, yeah, because people are like, oh, this will be my passive income, even though it's not any income. Let's say that can be an emergency, Steve. That's what Aslan is saying. It's easier to deal with trees when you decide to cut them down than when they fall across the drive out of your home. Yeah, if it's just cutting them down, how much does it cost to cut trees down? I guess. Yeah, I guess I would probably I'd probably buy a chainsaw and do it myself if it was going to cost more than a chainsaw to pay somebody to do it. Fairly confident that I could get it to fall the way I wanted it to fall and not on anything. And of course, you move everything else like cars, etc. You move all that way away, and then the only thing it can hit is the house. So you aim it away from the house, and I'm fairly confident I could do that. Let's see. Yeah, about the being a landlord. It says even $21.50 in rent would on paper generate profit, but no, he went down to 2K flat. Yeah. Trey says keeping and cutting trees should depend on plans for the land and the type of tree it is. Some trees rut shallow. My mother-in-law used to say rut instead of root. Others have a stem root that is as deep as the tree is tall and are far less likely to fall. I did not know that. There are things that I do not know about trees, and that would be one of them, Trey. Interesting. Several hours of time is always suggested rather than cashish, if you can do it yourself. What is... I don't know, it beeped. Something went bloop. I thought it was Discord, but I don't have that open apparently. Now that we have to, it's not a law, just like you don't have to buy a new car ever. So people always say you have to, but you don't have to. But anyway, this one says, now that we have to listen to the show through the Ramsey app, if we want to listen to it all in one place, that would be correct. But you are putting that limitation up on yourself then. I'm having trouble with the episodes not showing as completed once I have listened to them. All right? As someone who listens to all the episodes, it's super important to have this info so I know which episode I'm on. I'm a couple of weeks behind trying to get caught up. I was really close to being current, but then all the completed info for the shows disappeared all the way back into September. Okay, so if that's just broken and it's marking them as completed now, I would assume it's fixed. Otherwise, you can submit a bug report to the app people. Are there any programs in Ramsey that help those of us already retired? I'm 67, it says. I'm not 67 yet, thank goodness. Retired. And baby step 6, okay? Just paying off the mortgage. So what is it that you need help with? Should be done with that in 4 to 5 years, okay? Not really worth it to take the hit of paying it off with such a low interest rate. Well, then why are you looking for programs in Ramsey? You don't want to take the Ramsey advice. So at such a low interest rate, since my investments bring me much more return, most of the Ramsey plan is aimed at before retirement. Okay, well, Mr. Ramsey does not have a plan at all that would involve you not paying off the mortgage. Not having a mortgage payment will help you in that retirement. But if you want to debt leverage the house to have money more money in investments, you get to go right ahead. But that's not Mr. Ramsey's advice. Federal employees currently in baby step 2. But just looking ahead to baby step 4, I might have done that. Did I do this one? Baby step 4, 15% gross income in retirement. Not during retirement, but into retirement investing. Tracking, contributing up to the match for 401k. I'm tracking. Does that mean I'm planning for that? Interesting. All right. I'm tracking, contributing up to the match for 401k, the TSP, and the remainder, Dave says, in a Roth IRA. But I notice we have a Roth 401k. Is there a difference between Roth IRA and Roth 401k? If so, which one should I be investing in? The Roth 401k. And so, if you are not hitting your limit in the Roth 401k, then you don't have to open a Roth IRA. You still can, especially if you get better in your Roth 401k. It may be somewhere, some brokerage may be running it where you don't have as many options as you would in a brokerage that you open your own Roth IRA in. So, and that's the only time that it would be beneficial to max out your Roth IRA first and actually even have one instead of the Roth 401k. Is the show intentionally limiting the amount of financial crisis calls? Limiting. I remember pre-COVID, it used to be a daily thing where someone with 350K in student loan debt, making 42K a year, needed help on how to get ahead. I don't know, it was every day, even pre-pandy. Now it seems like there's more calls along the lines of I have $8 million and don't know what to do with it. Thoughts? Love the show, by the way. BT Dubs. I have been listening since 2016. Okay, great. I don't know that those have ticked up. There's always been Richies that have problems with money as well, or other places in their life which they do take those calls as well. It's about your life and your money, not just your money. So I'm trying to make a budget and have a quick question. I need a pet category, okay. But it will vary from month to month. The food isn't every month. The cat litter is skipped some months. Do I add up what the total expenses are regardless of whether it's needed that month? No, because you're not spending that. Occasionally, everything pet related will land on the same month, but not often. Well, that's why you make a budget every single month. So then you can fill it in, because you will know ahead of time, probably, or you could guess if you don't know exactly when you'll need kitty litter. You can also buy it at a certain time. You can pick a certain time to buy it, even if it's not needed yet, because you're still going to use it eventually. So you can have the pet category, that's fine, and you can get close. If you do math on what you actually spend, you can figure out how many days you get out of each purchase approximately, and you can put it together that way. Not that difficult. Just got to try. How's everyone feeling about Christmas on a budget? Well, since everybody should have a budget always, even the Richies, I feel great about it on a budget. Budget means you are intentionally giving every dollar a name. So that means you're being intentional with your money. And so you pick the amount you want to spend on Christmas, and then you spend that amount. And if something else comes up, and you don't vote to go over budget, then you don't do that item if you've already bought everything else. Recently retired, baby step 7, congratulations, and trying to watch my money carefully over the holiday period. Are there any good tips to help me stay on track? Postscript, happy holidays, everyone. Well, if you're not new to budgeting, say you had a budget while you were still on a lower baby step, you do it the same exact way. Just because you're in baby step 7, that doesn't give you permission to automatically just go over budget on items whenever you want to. So if you decide I want to spend X amount, the only way you would spend more than that is if you spend more than that, and that's you choosing to do it. And so you just make the budget and say, I want to spend this much, and then you stick to that amount. If something comes up, then you can have an emergency budget meeting about it. And if it's worth it to you, you can change the budget during the month if you need to. But the idea is to try to not have many of those. But like if it's Christmas time, and like you didn't know you were gonna have family come in from out of the country, and you would like to see them or do X event with them, then maybe you make an exception and change the budget. In general, of course, you're the boss of the budget while you're making it, and then after it's done and agreed upon, if there's more than one of you, then the budget is the boss of you. Marshall, it may seem callous of me to discuss Mountain's health, but I want to make sure it's something feasible for me and not hurt me in the long run. You mean discuss it with your siblings? Or discuss it with us? It should be as fair to you as to your siblings, Trey says. Flanking. Cross-cut short ribs is what Sid has in the oven. I'm not close enough to go there anymore. I used to be. Not anymore. If your... Yeah, that's not if your toothpaste. It's supposed to be if your toothpaste tube does not look like this at the end, you might... Where did the letters go? Maybe I did copy and paste it correctly and the person just left out the letters. Like this at the end, you might be in baby step 2 longer than you should be. Alright. If you paint your car with house paint, you might be a redneck. Okay, and here's the picture of it right there, and you're flattening that out. You do that. So I do stuff like this. I do stuff because I just don't like to waste. Waste not, want not, of course. And so I do this stuff. I never bought the twisty thing where you could put. I mean, I guess you could put like even some kind of like maybe not a clothespin, but something smaller than that. But they have like special things that you throw on the end there, and then you can just wind it up like that. And it automatically forces all the toothpaste up to the top. But I just use my hands, go like that, and you grip it real tight, and then you go up on it, and then it takes all of it to the top, and then you can use every little bit of it. Mostly. Probably not going to get all of it. Oh, you want it to be fair to them, okay. Want to still have a family afterwards. Yeah. So, yeah, you just need to figure out what would be fair to them and then suggest it. Or you can just tell them, what you want to do and how that can happen. Aslan said, what? They're not cutting the toothpaste open? I stopped short of that. I don't do that myself. Open when they think it's empty. Yeah, you just cut it open and then you just scoop it out that way. Yeah, Aslan, that's pretty good. Anytime I talk to Mom about it, she gets mad and tells them she's leaving the house to me in her will. Then I explain that will hurt me. Hey, you can't change what your mom's gonna do. So, if you want to give them money for some of it, you can do that. But you can't make your mom not leave the house to just you. So, but you can give them money anytime you feel like it. Marshall cuts hers open, and she does that with hand cream too. Very nice. To those of you who have spouses that weren't on board to begin with, how did you get your spouse on board? I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband makes the income, but he's also the spender. Yeah. and that can bring its own issues because he's like, I bring the money home, I want to be able to spend more money. I want to be out of debt, but he is not on board. Oh, did I do that twice? I did that twice, looks like. Okay. Oh, yeah, I did it twice. Okay. And then there's a user comment down here, though, on that says, I was the one that wasn't on board. I was a stay-at-home mom of 4. One day my husband showed me what was going out and coming in. Then he said, if something happens to me, this is what you will have to live on. I did a 180 and we have never looked back. Yeah, if you slap your spouse in the face, not literally, of course, not literally, but if you lay some reality on your spouse about any things like that could happen, you probably want to be in a better place financially. So that is a great idea. Just had the we don't need to buy presents for all the siblings and in-laws and nieces and nephews talk with my sisters. It went way better than I expected. That's fabulous. You never know. It just depends on the person. Some people would insist on, oh no, we have to buy everything for everybody. And not be concerned about the cost of it. It's just, oh no, you have to do that. And guess what? You don't have to do that. Paid off my husband's student loans today. All we have left are my student loans, and we will be 100% debt free, including the house. Congratulations. Husband's student loans must have been less, right? Lower amount. And that's when you would, of course, do that one earlier, before paying off yours. But it's our debt, so both of them are ours. I've made a lot of dumb decisions with money over the years, me too. But thankfully, I've never had a car payment. I can't say that. That was one thing that stuck with me from listening to Dave Ramsey as a kid. I've been driving my 1992 F-150 since 2012 with no regrets. Excellent. What was the big deal about 2012? Was that when the Mayan calendar ended? And so people were worried like the end of the world was going to happen or something like that. It didn't. And I might be mixing up an actual thing with a movie, because there was a movie called 2012 as well. Recently, an acquaintance was telling me that he cashed out all his stock and put the money into a particular cryptocurrency. Yeah, he wasn't asking my advice, so I didn't give him any. Okay, that's fair. Wasn't a huge amount, but it wasn't super small either. How would you guys have handled the situation? Well, if they're not asking you for advice and they want to tell you something, I mean, you don't even have to weigh in on it. You can just say, oh, alrighty. And that's you accepting that the person did that. You said, like, okay, I heard you, that kind of thing. And so maybe that would be the end of the conversation. But if it's a deal like a lot of your crypto bros like to do, they like to talk about it a lot so that you buy it and make their holdings go up more. So let's see. How would you have handled it? Yeah, just say, okay. That's great. I wouldn't do that, but that's great for you. You can do that, but like I said, if you probably wasn't interested in your advice anyway, regardless, and you said wasn't asking advice, so yeah, no need. No need. When you want to give advice financially, especially to normal people, and your advice would be Ramsey advice, you're not you're not going to get good odds that they will receive it warmly. Um, yeah, so you gotta just expect, especially if it's something like crypto. So yeah, I wouldn't even expect them to even entertain the thought that it's not worth anything, because they look at their balance and they see their balance every day, and so they think, oh, that makes it real, that makes it worth something. Um, so yeah, it's just that's up to you. That's up to you. Um, Especially if you said it's an acquaintance, so not that big a deal either way, probably, but when you want to, sometimes it's just not worth it even getting into it, depending on the person you're getting into it with. But just you got to accept the fact also that people are going to do dumb stuff with money, and so that is going to happen, and most people will not take Mr. Ramsey's advice. So you just got to embrace that. While also you can still give advice, but once you say what the advice is, how they respond, you don't know, and however they respond, that's okay. You are still doing your stuff correctly. After achieving baby step 7 and maxing out 401k and IRA, what's your next move for investing? Well, you can use health savings account, HSA. If you have a high deductible insurance plan, you can use that as a little bit more of tax advantage investing. Otherwise, you would just open a brokerage account. My wife and I are in baby step 6, and we are trying to pay our mortgage off early, and that is advised. That is what step 6 says. Let's verify that. Step 6, pay off your home early. So they have that correct. Excellent. We both work full-time jobs, and I have a side hustle. Great. We have a 4-acre field on our South Georgia property that we would like to turn into an income-producing piece of ground. How much money is that going to cost? Any ideas to make extra money that involve keeping the land and working the land to become income producing? Well, you would keep it, but like if you're going to grow something on it or have 4 acres, I mean, you could have cows on the land or something like that, um, and so forth. Now, the problem is when people get good ideas like this that they think is, oh, this will be a fabulous idea. Unfortunately, most new businesses fail. So you gotta think about that as well. So, and unlike some financial advisors, Mr. Ramsey is not. Oh, you always keep real estate, always, and that's just not the case with Mr. Ramsey's advice. So sleepy. Um, Did that one. My employer just announced instead of adding to our 401k each pay period throughout the year, they will now make one contribution, lump sum, normally, at the end of the year. I'm thinking this will have a pretty big effect on the accrued interest. Have other employers done this? And one of the comments was, sounds like they want to draw all the interest on it, I guess, during the year, and then they get to write it off at the end of the year. Okay? So, and that very well could be. And so, if I guess they're allowed to do that. because they don't have to have a retirement plan at all. So that is optional, not required. And granted, you may lose out on potential employees by not having one, but it is not required. Curious, anyone think there will be Social Security or something similar to help us in 25 years? I'm not depending. I'm on it. Not depending. I'm on it, but want to hear people's thoughts. I mean, you're not depending upon it, and then you want to hear people's thoughts, maybe. So maybe that's what it is. So 2037 is when it's supposed to. I looked it up earlier. Is when it's supposed to run out. I think just like any other expense, for the government, they'll continue to do what they're doing now until they can't go into debt anymore. So, you paid it in. And so then they have to pay some out to you. And they will probably just borrow the money until they can't borrow anymore. So 2037, that is how many years from now? What is it? 20. Oh, so 2025. So that's that's 12 years. Okay, so I probably have a better chance of getting mine, but I would imagine they would do something, or they would change the system by now. Who knows? Elon Musk probably has an idea about that, so we'll have to see. I'm wondering what my husband is supposed to put on future job applications when he was removed from his most recent position by his employer because he had 2 spine surgeries in 1 year. Yikes! Oh, I know what that is. That dinging. I can get rid of that. There we go. That's better. 2 spine surgeries in 1 year. When someone asked the reason for leaving, would he put personal or something else? Oh, what would I put there? I mean, you could put medical, and then they can ask you about it further if they want. Or you can put in the reason for leaving, you can put 2 spine surgeries within X number of months or X number of days. You can put it like however you want to. You can also put ask in there, but I would probably just put something in there, and then they can ask you for more verification after that. So yeah, you can just say 2 spine surgeries, or you can just leave it at the vague medical reason, and then if they're interested in you, they would ask you about that. Or like I said, you can choose to just go ahead and get it out of the way and just say I had 2 spine surgeries within 1 year, and you can also put in there as well what your prognosis is, or what you've been cleared to do by your physician. You can say, I'm all clear now, or something like that. I'm medically cleared now to return to work, that kind of thing. Trying to advise him in such a way he doesn't get outright rejected, but it depends. It just depends on the person reviewing the application, or the AI, if they're doing it by AI these days. But it just depends how that person would receive it. If that would be an automatic no on that, if that says medical in there, or says surgeries or anything like that. It's possible. Gosh, my goodness. You stay in bed longer in the mornings. And of course, not stay up late at night as well. He's not mentally ready to retire yet since he's only 46, so we're exploring options. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you don't, if he's not mentally ready to retire yet, then don't retire for sure. So, I mean, you can find something. Retail or fast food or something. I mean, that would be if you have problem getting a job. Um, Retail or fast food would probably take you. And then at that point, if you switch a job from there, then you are working, and then you don't have any gap other than that 1 year. So you may need to get some time at a job under your belt before more people would be accepting of that situation and still hiring you. Help! I need somebody help. If I open a Roth IRA, okay, this year, should I pay taxes in April? Should you pay taxes in April? What you talking about, Facebook group person? I'm stay-at-home mom. My husband is retired. I don't have any retirement, but my husband does. The contribution would be $8K for my age. My husband doesn't have to do with any investment ever. I don't know what that means. We paid off our mortgage, no debt. We have a fully funded emergency fund in the bank. And it just sits there anyway. I appreciate all your help. Okay, well, the fully funded emergency fund, none of that should be invested. Because that's for emergencies. That's not an investment. Repeat after me. Not an investment. So, should I pay taxes in April? Well, you have to pay taxes on any income that you get. The amount that you put in a Roth IRA, that would already be taxed when you receive that, unless it's like a gift or something like that. But you have to have the income has to be earned in order for you. So you have to, I mean, it doesn't have to be the exact same money, like the money that you get from the company for working X number of hours. You don't have to put that exact same amount in, but during the year, like you can even put money in now, even though you haven't worked. You just have to end up working more by the end of the calendar year, so you do have to do it actually if you're going to do it now. But like you could do it in January and not and work for that equal amount way in December again, and then that would be fine because you would have earned it during that tax year. Hello, hi guys. Would you recommend consolidating debt, and if so, do you have a recommended way of doing so and organization to work with? No, it's not recommended, because even if they're legitimate companies and are not trying to make money off of you, or not an excessive amount anyway, even if they're not, people, by doing consolidation and pushing it to somebody else to handle, they think they've done something when you haven't, and so it can keep people off track and keep them, they would not, you're not going as gazelle basically. And so the idea is to just pay your debt off ASAP instead of consolidating it. And because it makes you think you've done something, that's why Dave calls it consolidation. We've been approached by family in our church who would like to purchase a piece of property we have listed They're asking for seller finance. That's a no. Automatic no. Nay. Nay. You can refer yourself to your Bible and find where it says neither slave nor lender be. I think that's in the Bible, and you can show them that. So, and you don't do that because what if they can't pay you? Then what? And so you don't do that for anyone, but especially not for family and friends. They have a down payment of $30,000. If the bank will not lend them the rest, then why won't they lend them the rest? Guess what? They can't afford the house then, probably. Property listed for $220,000, but they are willing to go $225,000 if we agree to seller finance. So you're getting $5,000 extra dollars over the course of how long? Probably 30-year mortgage. Oh, for just 3 years. So they would have it paid off in 3 years, or then they would move to get a mortgage for it. My gut tells me no, your gut's right. My heart wants to help this young family. You can help them best by not doing dumb, stupid crap with them. We're on baby step 7. I know nothing about this process. I'm asking for some opinions and insight. Well, that's the opinion and insight. You do not seller finance. You sell the house, and if they want to go get money from their bank to pay for it, and they just give you the money, that is fine. You know, your name is Paul, and that's between y'all. I mean, that's between them. And so that's how that would work. So, but that's a no. We're not doing that. Because you want to sell the house. You don't want to be involved in any bull crap if they all of a sudden can't pay it. Or, again, the 3 years, are they going to completely pay it off in 3 years? So that's what I would be worried about. Because it's not really explained what the 3 years is. And it may be time they're trying to get their credit score fixed so that they can move it to a mortgage eventually, maybe. Maybe. A little frustrated. We are trying hard to pay off debt, and I agreed to a girls' weekend back when I was doing another job that was making more money. Okay, things happen in life. And then you can't go on girls' weekends then. And that shouldn't be that big a deal to the other ladies involved. I stepped back from that job for mental health reasons and am finally in a place to start looking for a higher paying job again, okay? Anyway, my girlfriends all make $100K plus and don't have any kids. We make $100K, but we have 2 kids and a high amount of debt. So that's a no. It should have been a no already. So I would use this as a great excuse to not do that. I put gas money in a sinking fund to go up for girls' weekend. It's just the gas that you have to do. And told them it's out of my budget to do the activities they want to do, and my vote was just hanging out, as that was one of the options presented. Great. Now they are scheduling painting with a twist, $50 dinner reservations at an expensive place, and brunch the next morning. The weekend is a celebration for my friend's birthday, but she just doesn't get that I don't have the budget / income that she does. They don't. when people want to do stuff like that and destination weddings and stuff like that, they're not thinking about anybody else. They're not caring about anybody else. Ugh. I know if I bail on the weekend, she will give me crap. All right, well, if she does, she's not your friend then. But I feel like for me, when you plan group events, you need to take everyone's budget into account. Sure, that's fine. But even if none of that was involved and you just decided not to go, that would be fine as well. So yeah, that's a no. Don't do any of that. And if they're not going to be still friendly to you, then they weren't your friends ever to begin with anyway. Alrighty. Whoops. Let's stay right there. And then I'll erase those so I don't do those again. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. You're watching this on youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. And you just scroll down on that main page there and you can see the Ramsey Show Aftershow show playlist, the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and the music playlist, which has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. As far as my other plugs, hey, you know what you can do? Because I am a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you are on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. How about that? You can email me about said coaching or anything else about my YouTube channel, anything else that's on your mind, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively, to Cash App, $CoachSteveMoney. Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Also, super chats, super thanks on pre-recorded videos. Upcoming streams, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, that is every weekday, even after the replays that will be happening, I think starting on the 19th of December, after the giving show, which I think is on the 18th of December, sorry. Even after replays, I will be doing aftershows. And that's at 5:25 p.m. approximately. Each weekday, again, Monday through Friday. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And thank you so much if you've done that already. And as always, I'm going to get a nap. Make smart financial decisions every day.